Hi there, I'm Dr. Bot, and I'm an Ultimate Iron Man. But not just any Ultimate Iron Man. See, recently I watched Settle's Doc Johnson series, and I rewatched Frame's Gridlocked series, and I kind of got some inspiration to combine those two concepts. And I started thinking to myself, well, what if you could only explore a certain region, like Asgarnia or Kandrin, only once you've unlocked all of the mooring points and docking points in that region? Like, for example, in Asgarnia, you have Port Sarim and Remington are the two docking points. What if you couldn't access an area at all simply just because it can't be sailed to? Well, what can be accomplished? What's the goal? Well, we'll just have to find out. Ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so let's go over the rules for this account while I am doing the Pandemonium. So obviously I'm doing the Pandemonium quest. I need to talk to Steve. But I am going to start with the Pandemonium quest, and then I am going to unlock regions through sailing only. So what that is going to entail is I have to go and dock at each mooring and docking point in each region specifically. So for example, like Asgarnia. Asgarnia is one of the regions that will be unlocked when I have docked at all of the free-to-play mooring points like Port Sarim, Intrana, Remington, that was the one I was blanking on there, and I'm also going to add in the additional restriction of the Ruins of Unka at level 48, meaning I also need at least oak mast, or an oak sails and, or I think it's oak sails, right? Or oak mast and linen sails, excuse me, I think it is. But that is all that is required to actually access the main land itself. If there are any other regions that will get unlocked earlier, that would be really cool. But the closest one that has anything of use will be Karamja at, I believe, 36 or 38 sailing. Alright, next up, why Ultimate Iron Man specifically? Honestly, I am not too sure. It is not a very interesting game mode to me, but I think it gets more interesting with sailing's restrictions behind it as well. Sailing is already very interesting, but then you add in the restriction of being locked to only specifically places that you can dock at. I think that makes the Ultimate Iron Man aspect of a lot more interesting to me. But this is kind of one of those game modes that you can do with any account type, truthfully. It makes it more interesting the less options you have, in my opinion, though. That is just a personal opinion. Alrighty, and then finally, what are the goals for this account? Well, I mean, for starters, the biggest goal to this account is I would like to max both my account and the boat, but mostly the account. The boat will come naturally, where the account will also come naturally but take a lot longer due to the fact that I cannot bank, so I will have to gather all the resources myself alongside not being able to bank. Alongside that, I would like to finish Quest Point Cape if possible, the exclusion to that being specifically Mauritania, as I currently cannot sail to Mauritania whatsoever. However, that is very possible to change in the future. Additionally, I cannot also access any form of wilderness content whatsoever. Again, due to lack of sailing points. If that is to change in the future, that would be awesome, but I don't really see that changing anytime in the future. And finally, probably my favorite one of these. Oh, I'm sorry, there are two more goals that I have left. I completely forgot about one. Another one would be your basic, get your Infernal in your quiver. I've never done either one, at least not in the main game. That would be something that would be very cool to do, and I do plan on doing them eventually on my main group Iron Man to learn, but having them on this account would be very cool. And finally, the most interesting goal to me, in my opinion, I would like to, in theory, green all 5 of these collection logs. Beginner through elite, only through sailing. I don't know how feasible elite tier treasure trails will be without Mauritania access, so that may end up changing down to hard. But that is my final end goal for this account, which I think would be very interesting. I managed to catch the end of the Oda block plugin, but that is Pandemonium completed, meaning that the account is officially underway. And 5 sailing as well, meaning I can go ahead and take my official port tasks. I can have a maximum of 1, and I can only move between Port Sarum and the Pandemonium currently. This is going to be very interesting. I'm so excited to see what comes up. A first official cargo task of the account. I'm so excited. This is going to be so cool. I don't actually... Oh, I forgot to turn off the plugin. Whoopsies. I have the port tasks plugin on that shows you the fastest routes and everything like that, but I think I want to do this a little vanilla, so let's port tasks it off for the time being, just to keep this as very sailing as possible. I can chart this while I'm here too already, and that's 6 sailing too. What a clip this has been. Depositing this cargo was 7 sailing, which means 2 port tasks at once. Oh, and that's a charting task too. Nice. So we'll take, I think, yeah, both from Port Sarum to the Pandemonium. I suppose one thing I should make a little bit more clear in this clip, because I think I was a little not so clear on it, is anything that is within the dock itself is fair game. So for example, with Port Sarum, I can use the food shop and the fishing shop and things of that nature once I have access to more money, and I have to do a lot more port tasks for money for things of that nature, but I can by all means use those kinds of things since they are technically a part of the docks. Although I am a little skeptical that that may make it a bit too easy, and I am more than willing to be open-minded to changing that if you guys think it should be restricted until the mainland is also unlocked. But please feel free to let me know. Well, I'm just sailing along here, and if I trim my sails, that puts me not at the level because Jagex decided to troll me by 1 XP. So now you guys get to watch a super extended clip of me getting the level instead. Oh yeah, riveting gameplay right here, boys. 10 Sailor Man. Thanks, Oda. I would have never known that was happening. That's 10 sailing. I think this is where we're going to end it for the time being. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is kind of an all over the place video. I definitely know that there is a lot to do with this series. I cannot promise any kind of an upload schedule. I do work full time. I am also on call 24 hours a day in case of someone being called off at work or something like that, but I can promise that I will only get better at this and more comfortable with this. I am not at my most comfortable right now. This is most definitely out of my kind of wheelhouse of knowledge or things that I've done before, but this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I would love to share this journey and experience with you guys. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or just want to genuinely tell me that I suck, please feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.